What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Two Confrontational. What a phenomenal week one of NFL football. Started off with the Ravens and Chiefs, who gave us one for probably one for the century. It was Jason Kelsey and Travis Kelsey. Their podcast called it a topener, the season
hmm
topener, because yeah, Isaiah Likely barely stepped on the end zone by a toe. So
Right.
yeah, it was a hell of a game. What do you think of that game? I mean, to start off the regular season with that type
Yeah.
of caliber teams, I mean, hell of a roster put together by Roger Goodell.
Right. Yeah, I agree. It went the way I wanted to. I picked the Chiefs, but yeah, that last drive by the Ravens, yeah, Isaiah Likely balled out, led the whole NFL in receiving yards for a tight end. Balled out. Yeah, it's just a win the way I wanted it to. I picked the Chiefs to win, obviously, but the Ravens got a lot, to look forward to. And Isaiah Likely, he's balled out.
Yeah, what do you
And then,
think about that compared to like
no,
Mark Andrews is back? I know he had a car accident. He's coming off a knee injury and stuff like that. But I for
I
sure
th
thought Mark Andrews was going to be the featured tight end.
I did too, but yeah, obviously got to think. I think they're both different. They'll be featured differently.
Yeah.
Isaiah Likely's more athletic. I don't know if he has just better hands, but he can catch those balls that are out like he did with
Yeah,
the toe
he
in the
might.
line.
Yeah,
And
he's
Mark
a
Andrews is more of like a sure-handed safety net type of tight end.
third and
Um,
three, third and four type
right. So I think they'll
deals.
both get time, but Isaiah Likely really showed that this could be one of his breakout seasons. Even though he played well last year, this could be his
Towards the
breakout
end
season
of
this year.
yeah, he played well when Mark Andrews got hurt, and then yeah, just kind of carried it over to this season. Yeah, he balled out
hmm
9 receptions, 111 yards, and a touchdown. Yeah, he had pretty much all of the receiving yards. Lamar Jackson threw for 122,
hmm
and Isaiah Likely had 111. So I mean,
Right.
I think Zay Flowers had 30 some yards and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, hell of a way to start out week one of the NFL on Thursday with the Ravens Chiefs. They have a couple, I wouldn't say tough tests, but I think the next week's a little bit more harder to predict in my eyes
hmm
than last week. But then yeah, moving on to Friday night, you had the Packers and the Eagles. They scored off in Brazil. And Shaquan Barkley, his debut was phenomenal. Ended up scoring 3 touchdowns for the Eagles. And once again, that Packers run defense doesn't look the best. You know what I mean? They were in the game pretty much the whole time. I mean,
hmm
I liked the way that the Packers looked. And then obviously you had that injured towards the end of the season or end of the game
hmm
in the fourth quarter. But yeah, since you're a Packers fan, give me your thoughts on that game.
Starting out, I thought it was great. I thought it was gonna be a great game. Obviously, they started out with obviously a pick by Xavier McKinney. Obviously, his first pick with the Packers. Great way to start the season with a new team, and then a fumble recovery. Um, yeah, our run defense. I guess you could say that. Saquon Barkley's a different back. He looks like his old self. He looks like his peak self. So I don't know if it's just him being athletic and just shifty. So shifty, he's hard to tackle. But I
Or the
also think
system. Yeah.
the system too, I think, yeah, but I think the biggest thing for me is I don't want to be one of those guys, but the field, I mean, you saw any cut that a running back made, a receiver made, the defender was slipping and falling down. Um,
Hmm.
I think that was a big factor for both teams, so I can't say that's why the Packers lost. I thought it was a great game overall, losing by 5 points to the team that was in the Super Bowl or going to make the Super Bowl, made it to the, what did they make it to?
So
I can't remember what they
I
made it
don't
to.
even think they make the first round of the playoff. They lost in the wild card or
They made
something.
the. I think they made the first round, but anyways, they've been in the Super Bowl, I think, but and they're a Super Bowl contending team this year, especially adding Saquon Barkley. Um, I thought it was good, yeah, and then getting into the end of the game, yeah, Jordan Love gets hurt with 5 seconds left. Um, Luckily, not a huge injury. He's going to be out for the season, but it was unfortunate to see. I was kind of pissed off. It was kind of hard to fall asleep that night, just knowing your quarterback, your franchise quarterback, was hurt. But no, overall, like if I had to like say anything, they looked great. I mean, that's a great team. They should have won. There's 2 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns there in the red zone, and ended up getting two of them getting 2 field goals. Jordan Love had one pick that was kind of a bad throw behind. Overall,
Mhm.
I'm very happy with their performance, and yeah, the Eagles are a good team. So
Yeah,
that's all I got really to say about that game.
yeah. Jaden Reed balled out. He had like 180 all
130,
scrimmage.
137 yards.
Yeah,
Yep,
for receiving, but he
receiving.
added like 30
hmm
or 40 yards on the ground too. So he had like 180 all-purpose yards and 2 touchdowns. So that was a plus. Christian Watson had a
Yeah.
touchdown. I mean, Josh Jacobs had what, 60 yards on the ground, 70 yards,
He had
almost
80,
80.
89, 89.
Oh, so almost
First half was
90.
very
Yeah.
slow for him. Didn't really do anything, and I think he kind of found his rhythm. Maybe they adjusted the scheme, what they were going to do, Matt LaFleur. But he found his rhythm, found his groove, and yeah, he had a good second half. And this week, we'll obviously get into those games, but he's gonna need it this week. The entire Packers organization is going to need him to have a good game. If Jordan Love does not go.
Yeah, Malik Willis is
Yeah,
the
he's
second
and
string.
yeah. Malik Willis and then Sean Clifford. I can't remember his first name. Um,
I think
they're
Sean
gonna be
Clifford. I think you
they're gonna
said
be
it.
yeah, it might be Sean. I can't remember though. I'm not exactly sure, but yeah, Clifford's are 1 and 2. If Jordan Love does not go, but obviously we'll get into that when we hit those week 2 games. But
Yeah, you
yeah,
got the Colts
overall,
next
I thought it
week.
was two good
Yeah,
games Thursday and Friday. So
yeah.
just had made me more excited to go look into obviously Saturday college football and then Sundays. I was excited after those first 2 games.
Right. And I just wanted to touch on the field. I heard this stat that the turf used on the Brazil field is the same exact turf used in the Eagles field and the Packers fields. They're the only two in the NFL
Hmm.
that use this type of turf. It's just graded a little bit shorter, I believe, for the soccer
Yeah.
field. So there's not as much traction or as deep. You don't dig your feet in as deep, and the
Hmm.
guys are 3 times the size of a soccer player, just say 150 compared to 300, 2 times the size of a soccer
Right.
player. So they're going to be
Yeah.
slipping and shit
And the
like
only thing
that.
that
But
I would say is they did some warm ups. Obviously, you're not going full speed. You're not going to, yeah, obviously full speed during your warm ups and your route running and stuff like on air. Um, but I just think like maybe you could have figured out like maybe change your cleats during the game. I didn't see a lot of cleat changing. I know for the D lineman they did,
did they bring extra cleats
but
all the way to Brazil? You know what I mean?
I think they probably had a few pair. So I'm guessing a player did, but yeah, I didn't see a lot of that. But oh well. I mean, it was that like that for both teams, so you can't really do anything about it.
Yeah. I mean, I thought it was good. I don't think that's gonna be like it shouldn't be a I kept trying to find the word. It shouldn't be a
A
season-ending
factor.
loss. Yeah, I mean
Yeah, I
that
mean, first
loss for the
game, yeah,
Packers is, I don't think it's gonna ruin the season. I don't think it's something to look down on. It was a great game.
right.
Kind of came down to the wire. Unfortunate what happened
Hmm.
to Jordan Love, but I think it's still a bright future for the Packers, and the Eagles look good too. So if yeah, Eagles
Yeah.
started off strong, and that's a good start for the Eagles season and stuff like that. Jalen Hurts looked all right. He threw 2 picks. Xavier McKinney and no, yeah, Xavier McKinney and
Xavier McKinney and
Alexander Matt
who Madison? No,
no,
Jair Alexander.
Jair Alexander, yeah. And so yeah, so I mean they look that I mean that's also a positive on the Packers side. But I mean I know we
Yeah.
spent a little bit while on that game just since you're a Packers fan, but we'll move on here. Starting off Sunday, we had the quarterback-less Steelers. I mean they have two, haven't decided which one they're gonna start. Russell Wilson
Hmm.
was named the starter and then was injured with that same calf injury that's been lingering during the preseason. So Justin Fields steps up and yeah, no offensive touchdowns in this game. So if you had Chris Boswell, you racked up about 20 some points in fantasy.
More, yeah, 28, 29.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something like that in fantasy. So I mean, yeah, I mean, and Steelers got the dub on the road, so I called this game too. But I mean, yeah, what do you think about the Steelers getting it done in Atlanta? And what do you think about
No,
Atlanta
no,
with Kirk
not
Cousins
much.
and everything?
Yeah, I'll get into that. Not much to say about the entire game. Obviously, decent defense by the Falcons. They stopped them to only field goals. But and then one thing I'd say is Najee Harris looked like he was running hard. He had a lot of enthusiasm running the ball. He was getting into fights with players, after. He was just pumped. He looked like he was angry, wanted to do some damage. But as far as that, yeah, Kirk Cousins is still injured, I believe. Couldn't move around in the pocket really much at all. He had 150 yards. I think his QBR was 59% or his completion rate. Didn't look good at all. I think maybe he should have sat a few weeks and let the rookie get the start. But
Yeah,
yeah, I don't think the Falcons looked good at all. Um, and the Steelers didn't look great at all either. I mean,
I
if you have
mean, yeah,
like
the
their
offense
offense, I mean, there's
wasn't
a few good
moving,
plays to
but
pick it.
to
They had a few big
Pickens,
bombs
yeah,
to pick it, but Pickens, yeah. But I don't know. I not much to say about that game. It was so it wasn't very fun to watch because it was obviously not high scoring. But yeah, if you had Boswell, you did well, and that's I mean, Steelers got a good kicker. That's what they found out, and they've had a good kicker. So
oh yeah, and I mean, like, yeah, you can. as long as you get it, I think he made 350 plus yarders as long as it was
Hmm.
57 or 58, and then he made 240 plus yarders. So I mean, if you just
That's
five,
24 points right there.
and so if you
23.
move it to like the opposing team's 40 or 30, that's all you have to get it to, and then it's automatic three
Exactly.
points. So I mean,
Yeah.
uh,
What do you think about Justin Fields? How do you think he played? I thought he played pretty all right for
yeah, decent. I mean, I
um,
don't think he got a lot
coming
of
in.
first team reps, and he might have just because Russell Wilson was hurt. But I mean, he's a good quarterback. I mean, he's not a great quarterback, but he's mobile.
Hmm.
He can move it with his arm and his legs. You've seen it when he was Chicago running for 80 yards and stuff like that. So, but on the
Right.
other side, Atlanta, I was watching Pat McAfee and AQ Shipley was on, and he was talking about the scheme of the Falcons is like play action and zone draws and stuff like that. But what they were running there with the different offensive coordinator was just straight drop backs one on one with the
Hmm.
offensive line. So they were just getting beat. And then, especially if you're going against TJ Watt, there's no chance anyone in the league stands a chance one on one with JJ or TJ Watt. And he had a great jump. There was a little bit of controversy on that jump that he had, and he had a strip sack and got called
Hmm.
back for being offside. So, I mean,
Yeah.
Steelers, yeah, Steelers going to be a
He actually
above
had two strip
500 team.
sacks that
Yeah.
two strip sacks that got called back. So he had a phenomenal game. And I think he still ended up having one or two sacks without those
Mm-hmm.
ones that were called back. So he's going to be one to reckon with, like he was last year, and like he's been his entire career. I know last year he got kind of gypped out of the defensive player of the year, but this could be his year.
Yeah, I think Steelers will finish like 9-8, like right at where they always do, right above that 500 mark, and hopefully
Hmm.
potentially make the playoffs. I mean, they snuck in the playoffs a couple times in the last few years,
Right.
just by how everything
Yeah.
pans out, and stuff like
And
that.
one
But
and one thing to note before we get to the next game, Russ is officially out for week two. So Justin Fields will be the man for week two. So that's just something to look forward to when we get to that game when we talk about week two, because I mean he's not going to play in a big factor. Not we'll get to more to it, but like if Justin Fields goes 2-0, why even bring in Russell Wilson? I mean,
yeah,
the chemistry with your team with Justin Fields being a quarterback. Um,
yeah, and you're
that'd be
paying
going
for
if you go
Justin
2-0.
Fields. Yeah, and you're paying for
Yeah.
Justin Fields. You're
So.
not paying for Russell Wilson. You're only paying $1 million for Russ versus
Mhm.
the 20 or 30 million you're paying for Justin Fields. So
Yeah, we'll talk about that more when we get to week two games. But yeah, I just wanted to mention that.
yeah, next one, I mean, was a heck of a game too. You had the Arizona Cardinals in Buffalo at facing the Bills, and Josh Allen kind of just took this game over in the second half. Throws for 2 touchdowns, runs for another 2 touchdowns, and kind of just took it over at home in Buffalo to beat the Atlanta Falcons. It was coming down to whoever had the ball last, I felt like. And yeah, like I said last week, if this game was in Arizona, I bet you the Cardinals would have won.
Hmm.
But yeah, Bills find a way to win this one with their team pretty much completely depleted, offense and defense. They're able to get the dub 34-28 over the Cardinals at home. Yeah, what do you think about this one? Josh Allen proved it. He's still
Yeah,
Josh Allen.
yeah, still Josh Allen. He can do it with or without Stephon Diggs or other playmakers. I feel like they could have got the tight ends involved more, like they did last year. But obviously, first game, shake the rust off. And the Cardinals, I mean, they put up 28 against a good defense in Buffalo. So these two teams are some teams to watch. But I wasn't impressed by this game really. Um, but yeah, two teams to watch because obviously they put up quite. I mean, 34-28. You said.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I mean that's both pretty high scoring for both teams. So their offense
Yeah.
obviously can move the ball and put up points on the board.
Yep. And it just comes down to the question about the defense there on both ends, allowing 34 and 28, you
Yeah.
know.
Hmm.
But yeah, Josh Allen proved it. And then the other headliner storyline was Marvin Harrison Jr.
Hmm.
On the
Yeah.
Cardinals. He only got like one target or maybe 2 targets and only caught one
No, I
pass
think yeah, I think it was like 3 or 4 targets and then one reception.
for like 14 yards or something like that. So not a great
Yeah,
start
not
for
good.
not a great start, but I mean his other teammates played well. Michael Wilson, I think his name is, had a touchdown. Um, Number 4, not Rondell Moore. It could be Rondell. No, he
Mm-mm.
got traded. Somebody, DJ Shark. No, somebody played well on Atlanta, number 4, had played really well. I guess I can just pull it up and look.
Just look at
Um,
their stats.
but
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I thought that was a good game. I think both teams played well. Greg Dortch was the guy I'm thinking of.
Greg Dortch. I have no clue who that is.
Yeah, he had 6 catches for 47 yards. So I mean, he's getting the ball a lot. But James Conner is still James Conner. He played well. He had a touchdown. Looking for
What about James Cook?
did not have a touchdown. He had about 70, 80 yards, but I'm still looking for him to score a touchdown. I had a parlay with him scoring, and he didn't score, so I only won 70 instead of
Yeah.
2,500. So that was tough. But yeah, I mean, I thought that was a good game overall. I'm excited to see what happens next week with those teams. I have the Bills winning next week in week 2. But yeah, we'll get into those. But then yeah, moving on, you had the debut of Caleb Williams in Chi-Town versus Will Levis and the Tennessee Titans. They were in Chicago, and without scoring an offensive touchdown, the Bears found a way to get it done and put up 24
Yeah.
points at that without an offensive touchdown. So pretty impressive considering that fact. But Tennessee looked good until Will Levis at the end throws that pick 6, and yeah, I kind of all just went down there from there. But Caleb Williams' debut gets a victory at home for his week 1. I think it's the first rookie quarterback to get his
20
first
years.
Yeah, something like that. It's pretty cool.
20, 30 years. Yeah, I think both teams need to be worried. Will Levis, I didn't watch this game entirely, but yeah, Titans went up 17-0. I thought they were going to dominate the Bears. And then I looked back and it was, they're creeping up. It was 17-17 at one point, and then obviously 24-17. But Bears didn't score any offensive points. One promising thing for if you're a Bears fan is your special teams and your defense. They scored all the points for you. But I would be, Titans fans, yeah, it's kind of an issue if you're up 17 points and you give up 24 unanswered points.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Tony Pollard looked good. Will Levis, still a young quarterback.
Yeah.
Started out hot and then obviously making a huge costly mistake. But yeah, if you're, like I said, either of these fans, I wouldn't be too happy with how your team's played. I know Bears fans were, yeah, you got a dub, that's awesome, but your quarterback that you spent a first overall pick, didn't put up any points. And matter of fact, he didn't have a good passing game at all. I know one play he ran back. He was scrambling and ended up running back 19 yards took a 19-yard loss.
Yep.
So he's still got some things to figure out. And I say that about a lot of the rookie quarterbacks this week.
Yeah. Caleb Williams, not a great showing, but his post-game interview was professional. He is a professional if anything. But yeah, throws for like 50% completion with 93 yards.
Hey, no turnovers though, no picks. So
yep, exactly.
Take care of the ball.
Yeah, and there was really no run game either. As far as the Chicago Bears go. So passing or running wasn't really working. But luckily their defense came in clutch and found a way to get that dub.
Yeah, and they get a tough game next week. So
yeah, they do. They got the Houston Texans on Sunday night.
Yeah.
So
that's gonna be a tough one.
Yeah, speaking of Houston Texans, they ended up getting a dub on the road too. They ended up beating the Colts 29-27. Stephon Diggs debut as a Houston Texan. He has a couple tutties. Joe Mixon has a tutty. So yes, Texans were sharing the load with their new incoming teammates and ended up getting the dub, but it was a close one. I feel like these two teams always have a close battle, divisional game and stuff like that. But yeah, Texans ended up getting the dub on the road against the Colts at home. What'd you think of this one? Anthony Richardson has a fucking cannon. I know that for a matter of fact.
Yeah, I know one. I don't know if he was getting sacked or whatever, and he threw it still 60 yards
on
off one
run.
footer. He's about to be. This game doesn't tell me a ton. The rivals, so they're always going to it's always going to be a close game. Texans, yeah, decent game. I think. I just don't know. Colts could be really dangerous this year if their quarterback can stay healthy. And obviously the Packers play the Colts next week, so that's kind of not worrisome. But you can't sleep on the Colts if they lost to the Texans by 2 points. So both teams look pretty good. Richardson's a beast if he can stay healthy. C.J. Stroud's still C.J. Stroud, still a baller. But I definitely thought they'd put up a lot more points, and I think they their defense would hold the Colts to less points. But we still both picked the Texans, I believe. So
Hmm.
got that one.
Yeah, 100%. And then yeah, another close game, divisional game, Jaguars at Miami, Battle of the Floridians. Dolphins find a way to get it done with the last second as the time expires on the clock by Jason Sanders. 52-yarder knocks it through to put the Dolphins on top 20-17 at home to get the opening week dub.
Yeah, big one. I think this is more of a game. There was a lot of controversy going into the game with Tyreek Hill getting arrested, Calais
Yeah.
Campbell pulling up. That was huge. I think this kind of maybe shifted the locker room a little bit. They were kind of, what went on, kind of took their mind off the game. But yeah, close one, back and forth, back and forth. I thought I thought Miami was gonna ball out, and like I said, I thought they were gonna put up a ton of points on the Jaguars last week, or like what I said last week. But Jags look really good. Trevor Lawrence looks good. He had a ball at the back of the end zone. Great throw. But yeah, I think the biggest story was Tyreek Hill getting arrested before the game for speeding and not wearing a seatbelt. And I think the best thing was out of that was he scores an 80-yard touchdown, and then
Gets arrested again.
Waddle puts him in handcuffs. So yeah, I think that just kind of shifted the locker room. So I think Miami didn't play as well as they would have. That might be an excuse too, but a lot going on there. But yeah, Miami got the dub, and that's what I picked, and I think you did too.
Yeah, I did, but yeah, Miami barely squeaked that one out, and yeah, Tyreek Hill kind of saved the day with that 80-yard touchdown scamper, and then yeah, he got
Yeah.
arrested twice in the same day and still scored a touchdown and Dolphins
hmm
wins. So, yeah, crazy scene. He got pulled out of his car. I think the cops who arrested him are on leave and pushing to get fired and stuff like that. So we'll see what
Yeah, one of
happens.
them.
That
I think one of them's on admin leave.
yeah,
Yeah, I kind of watched the footage. Now we don't have to spend much time on this because they'll figure out what
everyone's
actually
seen
happened.
it.
But
Yeah, everyone's seen it
window,
too.
he
So
rolled his window back up when the cop told him to keep his window down, and then he didn't roll his window back down. Another cop came up,
I've seen it all.
pulled him
Yeah,
out of the vehicle, whatever.
yeah,
So
everyone's
obviously they'll
seen it.
figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like I'm saying is I think that had a huge momentum
Probably.
shift in the locker room when he came in. Players driving. Calais Campbell pulled up. I'm guessing fans were there.
Yeah,
They'd see
John Smith was
their star
there. Yeah.
receiver. Yeah, so um, it is what it is, and move on. But I'm glad Miami got the win.
Yeah. A team who didn't get the win, probably one of the biggest upsets of the week, probably the only upset of the week, was the Patriots
Mm-hmm.
over the Bengals in the jungle. Patriots found a way to knock off the Bengals. Ramon Stevenson had a game, so he's gonna be one of the backs to look out for in the league, probably a top 5 back in
Mm-hmm.
fantasy. No T Higgins. Jamar Chase was questionable with the stomach flu, and then Joe Burrow has that wrist injury that was lingering last season. Looks like he is still having issues with it. He had surgery on it, but looks like
Mm-hmm.
they showed video of him kind of working it out, but
Mm-hmm.
he says there's no issues, but looked apparent that he was kind of uncomfortable with it. So
Right. Yeah, this was the biggest shocker to me this week. Looking at that score, I didn't even watch any of the game. Watched a little bit of highlights, but just seeing the Bengals down for majority of the game, to be honest. Not a very high scoring game. Good defense from the Patriots, like they always have. They always have good defense, and I think Gerard Mayo is their head coach now, so that's a good win. It's a big win
yeah,
for
his
him.
debut, yeah, and his defense, yeah, didn't make a single mistake, and yeah, just kind of, yeah, phenomenal
Yeah,
outing
kind of
from the
just
Patriots.
Gerard Mayo's following in the footsteps of Bill Belichick. Um, yeah, but big shocker. And like you said, the wrist injury, Joe Burrow. I did see a few clips where he was kind of just like going like this, and he was like, "Yeah, I just squeezed a water bottle or whatever, something like that." Um, yeah, something to look out for if they. And I think they have a tough game. Obviously, we'll go over them, but
Kansas City,
they got a
yeah,
tough game. Yeah, they do. They have a tough game next week, so we'll see what happens with that. But yeah,
yeah,
that was one of my losses, and I think one of yours as well.
yep, kind of stunk. I had them on my parlay. I thought that was a surefire hit. You know
Lock.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
hmm
whatever. It is what it is. But then, yeah, you move on to the next game, Carolina and the New Orleans Saints. You had Carolina showing that they're still the worst team in the NFL, and the Saints defense looked phenomenal. Derek Carr had 3 tutties. He always goes for these kind of weird games. Alvin Kamara's back. He
hmm
scored. But yeah, Saints 47-10 at home over the Panthers, and yeah, not looking too hot for the Panthers.
Yeah, Carolina looked terrible. Would they let up 40 something points?
47,
Um,
but a lot of them were scored on the
yeah,
defensive side too for the Saints.
besides 3 touchdowns by Derek Carr, you know.
Yeah, but
But yeah, it's not look doesn't look good for the Panthers at all. You get a first round pick quarterback, or he was the second overall last year, and Bryce Young. Um, it's just like the fans are probably thinking, or the coaching staff, like, did we make a mistake? Is this guy going to be a complete bust? And I think you give him 5 games, 6 games, and you got to make an adjustment at some point because he didn't play well last year, and they made excuses like he didn't have any receivers, O line wasn't doing well. Um, but I don't know how you keep letting them start the whole year and just shit the bed again because obviously they shit the bed last year and then they give up their number one pick to the Bears, um, and they got Caleb Williams. So I don't know what you do. Uh, Ride it out and take the number one pick. Get your number one pick
yeah,
finally, I guess. I don't know. It was embarrassing, yeah, letting up 47 points in the first game of the season. Not promising at all. Not at
and
all.
not all the talent of the but they did bring in some talent. They had
Yeah, Xavier
Deontay
Leggett.
Johnson. Yeah,
Yeah, Xavier Leggett, Deontay Johnson, Adam Thielen. He's a little older, but they have
yeah,
weapons around them. I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
yeah. I was hoping they would be good this year, but it is what it is. Saints look decent. They might be a team that division is
Hmm.
not the best, so they could sneak into the playoffs just by having a shitty division. You know what I
Right.
mean? So,
Yeah.
but yeah, moving on to my game of the week. He had the Minnesota Vikings and Sammy Darnold. His debut for the Minnesota Vikings on the road in New York put a whooping on Danny Dimes and the Giants. And yeah, Vikings. I'm impressed, man. And I like Sam Darnold. I guess it is the Giants, so it's hard to kind of say anything there. But they had Thibodeau, and they picked up another guy. Who was it? Um, Another high end defensive end, and they held their own. I don't think Sam Darnold
Hmm.
took a hit or a sack. I know for sure he didn't take a sack, but I don't even think he really got touched at all. Had a lot of time, so that was a bright sign for the offensive line. Aaron Jones had 100 yards in a tutty.
Hmm.
JJ had 70 yards in a tutty or 80 yards in a tutty. I mean, yeah, all around our team looked phenomenal. And yeah, we have a tough schedule the remainder of the year. So I'm glad we got that win, boost our confidence, and hopefully we can pull out what we did last year and have San Francisco at home and end up getting a dub against San Francisco. So uh, looking forward to next week. But that was a great game for the Minnesota Vikings to start off the season. Big confidence boost for Sam Darnold. Then who knows? Could be a resurgence year for him, just like
Hmm.
Baker or Geno or any of those other quarterbacks to go to a new team and just find the right system. So I like what I saw and pumped for what Minnesota has in store for the rest of the year. But tough schedule, but good win first week.
Yeah, very tough. Yeah, great win. I thought it's a huge win. Yeah, like you said, it is the Giants. But yeah, they played well. I mean, all over. I mean, I think Aaron Jones had the first touchdown of the game, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
Um, he balled out 100 yards. If he can stay healthy, that's promising as always. If he's on the field, he's going to make plays, whether it's out of the backfield or while he's catching a pass out of the backfield. Um, and then yeah, I checked the stats on Sam Darnold. I think it was right before half. He was 17 for 19 or whatever, 180 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
So he's playing. He's not making a lot of mistakes, completing a lot of his passes. That's good. I think he's got to play kind of safe. I don't think he's going to stretch it out too many times right away and throw these bombs or whatever. But
He had a big one to JJ down the
yeah,
sideline for 40 yards.
he did. Was that towards the end of the game
No, it
or
was right
third
at
quarter?
the second quarter, I think. But yeah,
Okay,
played well.
but yeah,
Um,
I think yeah, so he played well. Yeah, and he's not making many mistakes. Um, Completing his passes. You got a good running back. Obviously, like you said, the offensive line's protecting him. He's got to continue to do it. And yeah, I think you guys got a tough schedule.
got
Niners, yeah,
49ers.
Niners at home is going to be tough, really tough. You're going to see what Darnold's made out of when you got Bosa coming at you. And then I also want to touch on. I don't want to spend too much time on the Giants, but Daniel Dimes. We said it before this game. We'll say it again. He's not a quarterback. He's not worth 40 million. He's not worth a second string quarterback. Um, he should be a third string quarterback. He should be a practice squad player. He is terrible. The Giants franchise is awful. They wasted a good receiver on. You're gonna have a shitty quarterback throwing to him.
But
Just
he still had
embarrassing.
70 yards and five
And
catches.
yeah, but just imagine how many yards you would have with a good quarterback, a
Right.
competent quarterback. Um, yeah, it's just embarrassing, and the Giants messed up big time by paying this guy and letting him continue to start. They should have kept Tyrod Taylor and had him, fill in or whatever. But I don't even know who their backup is now, but it's whatever.
Yeah. I mean, you know who the top two quarterbacks in passer rating were this week or week one?
Is Darnold?
Yeah, Patrick Mahomes and Sam Darnold weren't too far
Mm-hmm.
off of passer ratings. Um, so I mean, great start for the Minnesota Vikings. I'm excited.
Yeah,
It sucks that JJ can't come in and show what he has, but it is nice to have Sam Darnold and the performance he put on this week. Hopefully, he can keep that going throughout the rest
absolutely.
of the week. But then yeah, moving on. I thought this one was kind of shocking. I did pick the Chargers in this one, but the Las Vegas Raiders in Los Angeles facing the Chargers. Great debut for
Mm-hmm.
Jim Harbaugh, getting the dub at home, 22-10. J.K. Dobbins was the star of this game, just absolutely dominating. Only 10 carries, 135 yards, and a touchdown. Just a great stat line for him, and I'm excited for the Chargers. They look good, and yeah. What did
Mm-hmm.
you think about it?
Yeah, J.K. all the way, 100 over 100 yards, touchdown. um, I definitely thought Antonio Pierce would get the win week one, but yeah, Chargers look good. Hot start for Harbaugh, and obviously great running back. You got a great quarterback. You have had the great quarterback for the past 2 years or a few years. Um, but yeah, I was kind of shocked about this game. I picked the Raiders, um, and I thought they'd come out firing, but Chargers got them on this one.
Yeah, Lad McConkey had a touchdown too. So congratulations
Hmm.
on his first NFL touchdown. So that was pretty cool
Yeah,
to
and then
see.
also, what's his name? Oh, I just had him to my tongue. Tight end for the Raiders. Oh man,
Brock Bowers.
Brock Bowers had a good. I think he was in top 10 in receiving yards for a tight end. So that's promising as well. Played pretty well. So I think he had what
Yeah.
60, 70 yards receiving.
Yeah, 6 catches for 60 yards. So not too bad. So yeah. I mean, not a great start for the Raiders and only scoring 10 points,
Mm-hmm.
but I mean, yeah, still knocking out the rest, and you have Gardner Minshew at quarterback.
As
So
your quarterback, yeah.
but yeah, moving on, you got the Broncos and the Seahawks. Seattle took this one 26-20 at home in the 13th man stadium. Kenneth Walker had 100 yards and a touchdown. Um, yeah, Kenneth Walker's pretty much a star. Bo Nix looked decent. He had an interception um, towards the end there, a couple interceptions, two interceptions,
Hmm.
no touchdowns, but I mean, not a terrible
Yeah,
start. They were throwing the shit out of the ball though. He threw 42 times,
threw it
so
40 sometimes. Yeah.
yeah, so I mean, just trying to get used to the speed of the game, I think, and putting up 20 points isn't bad. And then, but yeah, Seattle's a tough team, especially in Seattle. So
Yeah. Didn't watch much of this game at all. Seattle, I thought they'd beat them by a little bit more, but Broncos, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if Bo had a great game. I had two picks. I'm not sure what his completion percentage was, but two picks
20,
is, that's an
50%. Yeah.
issue. That's an issue. It does happen though. It's his first NFL game. He's still shaking the rust off from playing in college. All these guys are, but yeah, I definitely thought the Seahawks were going to put more points on the board and beat them by more than six, but it is what it is. I think Seattle's still going to have a good year. Yeah, like you
Yeah.
said, Kenneth Walker.
Broncos have a pretty stout defense too.
Hmm.
They don't give enough credit on the defensive end, but yeah, rookie start for Bo Nix, two interceptions, only averaged 3.3 yards a pass. So I mean, just dips and dunks and stuff. But
Yeah, just
um,
like those safety throws, get his
I'm
feet wet.
yeah, I'm excited to see what he does in the league. I think he's a good
I
quarterback.
was too. Yeah.
But yeah, then moving on, you got the Cowboys and the Browns. Cowboys came on the road. I said they weren't a good road team, and they put up 33 points in Cleveland at the dog pound. So 33-17 on this game. Cowboys end up taking the dub on this one. Yeah, Cowboys and Zeke looks fresh. He looks healthy, skin
Hmm.
thinner, more like athletic, like he did coming in the league. And then
More explosive.
yeah, put up 33 points. Defense looks good. A couple picks on the defensive end. Diggs had a pick and all that good stuff. So, but yeah,
On return for a touchdown.
by Turpin. Yep, Devontae Turpin or
Yeah,
whatever.
Turpin, he's a beast. He's so quick. Yeah,
Yeah,
this was a game that I didn't see. I thought it was gonna be a lot closer. And I'm going to say the same thing kind of as I did as Daniel Jones with Deshaun Watson. All this guaranteed money, all the money he's making, the
Yeah,
Browns
most
did not look
approved.
good, man.
Yeah, most
Did not
approved
look
for
good at
sure.
all. And now he's got, after the game came out later or earlier this week that he's facing another lawsuit, being
Charge. Yeah.
sued for whatever it was. But it's just not looking good.
Took his clothes
He's
off
get
and
he,
asked the girl for a massage.
he's getting guaranteed money. I don't think he really cares.
Uh,
Um, but I think the Browns should. Joe Flacco, they should have kept him. Man, he would have been their starter.
right.
And the thing is, the weapons that they added. I mean, Jerry Judy, they added him. David Njoku's going to be out, I think, for a week or two with an ankle injury, I believe it was. But it's not good for the Browns, and the Cowboys looked really good. But Cowboys always start great, and then the postseason comes in, they kind of shit the bed.
Yeah, two tight end injuries in this one. Jake Ferguson and David Njoku both ended up getting hurt. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, but Cowboys get the win. Commanders at the Buccaneers. Baker Mayfield had one of the best quarterback performances fantasy wise, going for 4 tutties. Yeah, dominating the Commanders. I know it's a rookie quarterback and everything, but Bucks look good, putting up 37 points. I think that's the most out of any team first week, except for the Saints. Saints put up 47, but good win for the Bucks at home to start off the season. Baker looks good. You're muted, dude.
Yeah, I thought the Buccaneers looked really well. I mean, Baker looked. I think he had the best game overall, 4 TDs. Um, yeah, I'm really impressed with the Bucks, and I think that they're going to have a really good year. They ended the year well last year, and they started off where they started where they left off last year. Like I said, they would. So
Yeah. Yeah, not too much to touch on this one. Jane Daniels had a couple of running touchdowns, but that's about it. And then yeah, Washington or the LA Rams heading to Detroit Sunday Night Football. This one went into OT. Um, and David Montgomery kind of sends it off into yeah, he had 7 carries in the last 10 possessions or 10 plays of the
hmm
game. They ran it 9 times, threw 1 time to the running back in overtime and ended up getting the dub. So Lions look good. I knew this one was going to be a close one. This one's a fun matchup between the
yeah,
quarterbacks, opposite
hmm
teams, now playing for the opposite teams. Always a fun story there. But yeah, Lions get it done at home.
yeah, great matchup for this game. Like you said, knew this game was going to be close. Um, the both teams look really, really, really well. I just think that the biggest takeaway for the Rams is Puka Nakua being placed on IR. And they're even saying it might be longer in 4 games. Trying to get him
Mm-hmm.
back in 4 games, but could be longer, which is an issue because that's their top receiver. If maybe
Well,
two, obviously got Cooper Cup, but both teams look really well, and they're going to have a good year, I think. Hot start.
yeah, David Montgomery looked good. I told you Jamison Williams was going to have a breakout year, and he goes for 120 yards and a touchdown. Amon-Ra St. Brown's still there. Sam Laporta got a little banged up during this game. Didn't have as many touches as I thought he was going to get, but still a great win from the Lions. And yeah, Lions are going to be a team to reckon with. Probably win the NFC North there. But yeah, great game, great first game, great Sunday night game for the opening week, and then yeah, Lions get the dub on the road or at home. So
Mm-hmm.
and then yeah, Monday night we had the New York Jets versus the San Francisco 49ers down in Santa Clara. And just as we projected, kind of both teams started out a little slow, little sluggish. But then, yeah, 49ers found their groove again. And yeah, kind of key highlight or key story Christian McCaffrey was
Mm-hmm.
out this game looking like he's going to be out next week, too. But then they had Jordan Mason come in and kind of make a name for himself, going for 150 yards and a touchdown, and running all over the Jets defense, one of the top defense or supposed to be the top defenses in the league, and got ran all over, passed all over. I mean, it just wasn't a good performance for the Jets, even though they did have a couple. They had one good drive. It was like the
Mm-hmm.
second or third drive where they hit Zach or Garrett Wilson 3 times on third downs, and then Brees Hall win for a touchdown. But yeah, I mean, not a terrible performance from the Jets. I think it's just a little rusty getting the groove back with Aaron Rodgers and everything like that. But 49ers are a top 5 team for sure, top 3 team possibly. So
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, so I would say the biggest thing is not having CMC, and then I think if you're a Jets fan, I think you're pretty damn happy. Obviously, you get kind of blown out your first game, but Rodgers played the entire game. He had that one good series, went 6 for 7 for 60 something yards and a touchdown. Alan Lazard looked good. He had two TDs. One that was kind of broken up, and then the other one that he had late in the game.
Yeah, when they Aaron
But
Rodgers did drew him off sides. He has like the most touchdowns in the he has I think he has
oh, he's
18
so
free
good at it.
touchdowns. Yeah, and like 44 first downs and
Hmm.
yeah, it's nuts. But yeah,
Yeah,
49ers are good and
good defense. Obviously that what's that rookie running back's name? That running back that stepped in, Mason, right?
Jordan Mason, yeah, he's not a
Jordan
rookie.
Mason.
He's a
Oh, he's
couple of
not.
year player. No.
Still played
Um,
played phenomenal. And all the controversy around that is he was being interviewed and he said he was told Friday that he'd start. And then the coach said no, I didn't tell him that he was going to start Friday or whatever
he
like
said
that.
just
But
be ready to
uh,
play on Friday. So
yeah,
I
but
think he
overall,
just
yeah.
misconfused the question, and then he got interviewed again in the post game interview, like after
Hmm.
everything teams met and everything. And he's like, "Yeah, I got asked that question once and almost got ruined my career. So I'm let's
Right.
just skip that question or something like that." But
Yeah, I think it's
um,
same old 49ers. Strong D, good offense.
oh yeah,
CMC when he does come back, if he does, I mean he obviously will, but he's dealing with that. What they say could be knee injury,
it's a calf Achilles. He has
Achilles. Yeah.
Achilles
Okay.
tendonitis or something like
Oh
that.
boy. So it could be more than I know he's out for sure this next week too. I saw that this afternoon that he's most likely going to miss this game. But yeah, um, Niners are still the Niners.
Yeah, I mean, would make a huge improvement if Christian McCaffrey was there. But I mean, with all the weapons that they have, they even threw Debo Samuel back in at running back a couple of times. I mean, they have all the weapons, and especially if their line plays the way they did last week and
Hmm.
just pushing the Jets around, especially with all the good defensive presence, defensive line at least that the Jets have. You wouldn't think that would have happened, but yeah, they did
Right.
look good.
Right.
And yeah, week one was a successful one. I thought it was one of the best week ones we've had in a while with all the good matchups, divisional matchups, rivalry games, all that good stuff. But yeah, I thought it was one of the easier weeks to pick. I went 13-3 week one. Missed the Dallas game. I had the Browns winning that. Missed the Patriots and Bengals game, and then missed the Green Bay
Hmm.
Packers and in Philly game. But all the other games I had right. So 13
Yeah, I
and 3 to
went.
start the
That's pretty
NFL
good.
season. Yeah.
Yeah, I went 11-5. I missed the same games you did, and then yeah, a few others. We got them written down, but no, it don't matter. I went 11-5. Um, yeah, I think one would be. I think I obviously picked the Raiders. That's another one that, and then I can't remember the fifth one, but
I think you had
yeah,
Atlanta beating Pittsburgh.
I did. So that was my second one. So
Yeah.
for, yeah, five total. 11-5 is not bad, but I need a better start. Or I need a better week next week, and I think this week should be. I don't know. Hopefully
I
better,
looked
but
at some of the games and they were tough to pick because they weren't like great teams, either great teams or
yeah,
they had
let's,
a
let's get
good
into it.
win. Yeah, let's just hop right into it. Starting off tomorrow night, you have a Thursday night game. You have the Buffalo Bills heading down to Miami, Hard Rock Stadium to take on the Miami Dolphins. Yeah, this one's going to be a close one. 2.5 point spread to Miami, probably just because they're at home. And 48.5 point over under. Who do you got in this one? Bills
I
or
got
Dolphins?
I got Miami at home. Last week was weird for them, the entire team, organization. I think they come out firing. I think Tyreek has a better game. I know he didn't. He played pretty well last game with that walk off TD or that big TD 80 yarder. I think he plays a lot better. I got the Dolphins at home.
Yeah, if it was in Buffalo, I'd probably pick Buffalo, but since it's in Miami, Miami plays really well at home. They play really well in warm weather. And I think it's supposed to be a warm weather game. It's supposed to be 87 degrees and clear. So
Hmm.
yeah, give me the Dolphins in this one at home. Hopefully they do play a lot better than they did last week. But granted, they only let up 17 points, so it's not a bad defensive uh showing, but offense needs to put up some more points for sure. But
Hmm.
yeah, give me Miami at home for sure for this one. So, and then yeah, then we don't have any Friday or Saturday games, kind of just week one type deal. But then yeah, Sunday starting us off, you have the New Orleans Saints who put up a dominant performance last week against the Dallas Cowboys, who also put up a dominant performance last week. Dallas is at home and they have a 6.5 point spread. Who do you got in this one?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a really good game. A lot of hot start for the New Orleans Saints and a very hot start for the Dallas Cowboys. But being at home and the way they played last week, I'm gonna go Dallas at home. Yeah, I think they start to use. I mean, like you said, Zeke's more explosive. Hopefully, use him a little bit more. I know he had a touchdown and he had 13 something fantasy points, but use him a little bit more. I'm not sure when Dalvin Cook's going to be added to the 53. I know he's not yet. I think he's still in the practice squad, kind of getting that playbook down. But I'm gonna go Dallas at home.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go Dallas at home here too. Saints did have a good defensive performance last week, but they weren't playing a crazy tough opponent. Um, so I mean, in the Panthers, obviously the worst team in the league. So I think it's going to be a challenge for the New Orleans Saints. Give me Dallas in this one. Jerry Jones, is that his name? Jerry Jones, manager,
Hmm.
owner of the Dallas Cowboys. He said that he wants to
Yep.
cash his checks, which means they just paid Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb. So I think there's going to be a lot of passing in this game, and I think Dak goes for 350 yards and a couple touchdowns, and some of those, at least one of those touchdowns is going to go to CeeDee Lamb, so you can book it now. CeeDee Lamb's going to have a touchdown this week against the Saints, and yeah, give me the Cowboys at home in this one. So I do think they cover the spread too. I think Dallas is going to win by 14 at least. So yeah, give me Dallas. And then yeah, moving on, you have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers heading to Detroit to take on the Lions at Ford Field. This one's going to be a close one too. You have Baker Mayfield taking on Jared Goff, two great teams, defensive
Yeah.
and offensive teams. Detroit has a 7 point spread though, um, one of the biggest ones of the week. Uh, yeah, who do you got in this one? Tampa or Detroit?
This is a tough one. The way Baker played last year, the way the Lions played too, or last week, excuse me, the way the Lions played last week against a tough Rams team. But being at home, I don't know why it's seven. So I thought the Bucks were,
Well,
I thought
Detroit's
it'd be a
at
lot
home.
closer than that. But I know, but ooh, it's a tough one. I like Baker. I'm gonna go Buccaneers.
You
Yeah, I
go
think they're
Tampa
gonna
Bay.
hand Detroit their first loss of the season.
Yeah, I think yeah, this one was weird when I looked at it, but I mean, it makes sense. But yeah, actually, line moved to 7.5 for Detroit. Uh,
Yeah.
so a lot of money on the Lions, but that could be mean a good thing for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Usually, when it happens like this, you saw the Cincinnati Bengals. Yeah,
Hmm.
Tampa Bay's a good team. I'm not discrediting Tampa Bay, but I think the Lions at home
Yeah.
get the dub. I think it might be another
I think it's a
overtime
tough
game.
game.
Going to be another overtime game. I don't think Lions cover the 7.5 point spread for
No.
sure. I think Tampa Bay gets it within seven. Yeah, but I do like Detroit to win it outright at home. Yeah, so give me Detroit outright at home.
Okay.
Next game, this one's a tough one to pick too. You don't know the status of the quarterback, but you have Anthony Richardson in the Indianapolis Colts traveling to Green Bay to face Malik Willis or Jordan Love in
Hmm.
at Lambeau. Um, Noon o'clock game. I think it's going to be a little chilly in Lambeau. 72, not too bad. But yeah, you have Aaron Anthony Richardson and
Jordan Love.
facing the Packers, possibly
Hmm.
Jordan. You
Yeah.
said Matt Eberflus or what's his name? Matt LaFleur might
Matt LaFleur. Yeah.
put it on the table that
No, it's already open. I think it's more up to the. The way it made it sound is he's leaving the door's been open and he's going to keep it open until Sunday at noon. It's up to Jordan Love, obviously the medical staff, but I think it's more up to Jordan Love on if he wants to play. So the way they make it sound is it's a mild, if not less than that, MCL sprain. It seemed a lot worse, but I hope they don't play him. I want our defense to step up, and I want Josh Jacobs to ball out. I'm taking the Packers still. A little bit of bias there, but I think our defense can step up no matter what, and I think our run game improves from last week, especially in the first half. So I'm gonna go Packers at home.
yeah. Okay, cool. I haven't had this one. I don't have this one marked yet on my sheet. Just because this is a tough one. I really don't know um on this one. just because I don't know the status of Jordan Love and everything. But I'm going to go Indianapolis just because they put up 27 on the Texans last week. And then if Anthony Richardson can play and keep the defense busy on their toes, tire him out, wear him out, because they're going to have to worry about him and Jonathan Taylor. Not a very good run stopping team. Jonathan Taylor is still back in the backfield. You got to remember that. So I
Mm-hmm.
like the Colts on the road in this one. I hate betting against the Packers because they always seem to win when I do bet against them, but I'm going to take the Colts in this one just because we don't know the status of Jordan Love and everything like that. So, yeah, give me the Colts on the road. It's going to be a tough battle, but I think they got it. I think they can do it. Um, so, yeah, moving on to the next one. You got the New York Jets heading to Tennessee, Nashville to take on the Titans. Um, Solid first half for the Titans last week.
Mm-hmm.
Not a great game for the Jets overall. But yeah, who do you got in this one? Jets at the Titans. Jets have a 3.5 point spread on the road, so they are
Yeah.
favorites on the road.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Jets here. I like the Titans, and I think they had a good good start to the game last week. But I think that just seeing that one drive by the Jets, um, really promising. A lot of connections with Wilson. Hopefully, Brees Hall gets more active, in this game. But I wanted to say Jets get their first win here in Tennessee against the Titans. I'm gonna go Jets.
Yeah, I didn't have this one marked on my thing either until we before we started the podcast, but not right away when I marked all my other ones here. Just because, yeah, this one's a tough one. Tennessee has a great defense, but I think I'm going to go New York on this one. I think, yeah, Garrett Wilson and Aaron Rodgers start clicking. I think Garrett Wilson does have a touchdown this week as well. He didn't have one last week, but I think he does get one this week. And then,
Hmm.
yeah, I think Aaron Rodgers starts clicking, starts flowing. You saw a little bit of confidence come out of him in that drive where they were connecting and flowing. And I think that he's going to really be harping on the guys to, hey, we got to keep that up. We know what it
Right.
feels like. We know what it tastes like. So let's just keep striving for that and go from there. And I think the Jets find a way to end the season pretty decent. I think 10-7. I mean, that's not a terrible record for the Jets. I think that could be a possibility and hopefully slip into the playoffs. And, but yeah, that should be. Yeah. Did you know the fun fact? Aaron Rodgers is what is he 6-8 against the 49ers, and four of those losses he's 0-4 in the playoffs. So he's
No, I
six and
didn't.
yeah,
No, I didn't know that.
he's 6-9 against the 49ers, and he's 0-4. He's now 6-9. He was 6-8 going into that game. 6-9 against the 49ers and 0-4 in the playoffs. So
Yeah, well, you mean you won't have to play them in the playoffs besides the Super Bowl, so that's probably a good thing.
yeah, he probably did want to go to the other side of the conference. So, but yeah, that was just a fun fact. I just remembered that from last week. I should have mentioned it during that game. But yeah, Jets, Titans. You have the Jets. I have the Jets. Um, yeah, let's move on to the next one where we have the 49ers heading to US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis to take on the Minnesota Vikings and our new franchise quarterback, Sam Darnold. But no, San Francisco does have a 6 point spread in this one on the road. Yeah, who do you like in this one? 49ers or Vikings?
Yeah, I'm going 49ers. Even though CMC's not playing, I, I just don't know. The Niners played a pretty good team. I think the Jets are a little bit better than the Giants. Um, yeah, I'm gonna just go 49ers. I don't know. It might be a close game, might not be, but I think the 49ers are gonna win no matter what.
Yeah, I'm just going to go with my strategy that I did last year. I'm going to bet the 49ers, and then the Vikings are going to come in and upset the 49ers. So I'm going to pick the 49ers to win this game, but I'm really really hoping that the Vikings get the dub. That'd be an amazing start because then we have the Lions and then we have the Packers. So
Hmm.
we have two divisional games coming up after this one, so it's going to be tough sledding the whole year, but
Yeah.
I think the 49ers are just too tough of a team for this young, I mean, I wouldn't say young team, but this newer chemistry of a team to come together and beat the 49ers. Um, yeah, too early for that, but I do think the Vikings do hold their own. Six seems fair, two field goals. Yeah, that seems fair. So give me the 49ers. But yeah, cross your fingers for the Vikings. But yeah, moving on, we
Yeah.
got Seattle Seahawks traveling to New England to face the Patriots. Seattle is a 3.5-point favorite in this one on the road in New England. Do you think the Patriots can do it again?
I don't know. It's tough. Don't know if it was just a good game or a shitty game by the Bengals. I don't know. But Pat's at home, Foxborough. Seattle didn't obviously win by a ton, won by 6 points. Man, man, man.
Where that defense looked on the
Yeah,
Patriots,
defense
that
looked
was
good.
scary.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'm gonna go Patriots at home. This could be a wild pick, just because I my gut is telling me Seahawks, but I just want to go Patriots just to see that win, that two in a row. So I'm gonna go Patriots at home in Foxborough.
Patriots are tough to beat at home. Um, but I mean, I don't trust Jacoby Brissett. Don't really trust the line either in New England, even though, yeah, Ramon Stevenson ran for 120 yards. I just think that's him doing that. But I think Seattle's defense is a little bit better than Cincinnati's, especially in the
Hmm.
linebacker position. I think they have a little bit more better linebackers than the Bengals do. So I think they hold Ramon Stevenson, up a little bit better than the Bengals do. I'm gonna go Seattle in this one.
Okay.
I didn't have this one marked on my schedule either, just because it's too close to tell. But I think Seattle does get the win on the road in this one. So yeah, give me
Yeah.
Seattle. Moving on, you have the New York Giants. Danny Dimes heading to Washington, or I guess Landover, Maryland, to face the Washington Commanders. Um, yeah, got
Nothing to say about
Danny.
this. I'm going Commanders. I'm going Commanders. I don't like the Giants at all. Like I said, I think Jaden Daniels is gonna ball out. And at home, yeah, I'm gonna go Commanders. I know it's only 1.5, but it might be a tight game. But I think Commanders come out on top.
Yeah, that spread moved from 2 to Washington down to 1.5 in the last couple of days, but I don't know. I would say mark me down for a Jaden Daniels touchdown, rushing touchdown for sure. But the Giants might get it done just because it's the Washington Commanders. I mean, they're not great. I don't know. Yeah, give me the Washington Commanders. I have them marked on my sheet, Washington, so I'm going to stick with them. I'm sticking with Washington. Yeah, give me the Commanders at home on this one. Danny Dimes, yeah, don't have a whole lot of faith. So, yeah,
No.
moving on. We have the Los Angeles Chargers versus the Carolina Panthers. Another shitty team versus a halfway decent team, and just a up and rising team, I think, in the Los
Hmm.
Angeles Chargers. Yeah, who do you got? 6-point favorites for the Chargers.
Yeah, I got the Chargers. I think that JK is continue to do well. I think he's going to have a breakout year. Coming after three, shit, he's only 24 years old. He's had three um, season-ending injuries or surgeries, whatever you want to call it. I think he's going to have a breakout year. This is his year. New team, new coach, great coach. So yeah, I'm going to go with the Chargers.
Yep, I picked up JK I drafted JK in about 3 of my leagues and had him on the bench to start. But hey, I mean, brand new team, brand new system. I didn't know what was going to
Hmm.
happen, but definitely have him in my starting lineup now. And especially against the Carolina Panthers, I had the Chargers in this one on the road. So, yeah, give me the Chargers. And then, yeah, moving on, we have the Cleveland Browns, Jacksonville Jaguars. Jacksonville's at home, and they have a 3-point spread in this one. Who do you got?
Yeah, I'm going to go Jacksonville at home,
Excuse me.
just because the Browns didn't show me a lot last week. Deshaun Watson. Um, yeah, did not play very well, and I thought Jacksonville and Trevor Lawrence, really showed some truth. Like I said, he had that one throw that was incredible. So yeah, I'm gonna go Jacksonville at home.
Yeah, I have Jacksonville marked down as the win as well. Um, I don't, yeah, not a whole lot of faith in Deshaun Watson. I think he's still injured too. His shoulder. I mean, not a whole lot of
Could
velocity on
be, but
balls. I mean, it
yeah,
doesn't seem 100% healthy. And he got sacked how many times? Like he got hit so many times. The
multiple times.
Browns
Yeah.
Browns line didn't look great, and the Jacksonville's defense looked pretty solid.
Hmm.
I wouldn't say defense secondary wise, but up front they looked pretty good. Give me a
Right.
Jacksonville at home in this one.
And
Um,
without possibly Njoku,
yeah,
that's another target that
Njoku
you
is
lose.
out.
So
He is out. I have
yeah.
yeah, but they do have a good tight end, Akins from he used to play for Colts. Akins, long kind of dreads.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
He had
Um,
he had 4 catches for 50 yards or whatever last game too.
yeah,
So Jonathan Akins or something like that. But yeah, he's good. So I would say he's just going to be just as good as Njoku. Maybe not as athletic, but yeah. Moving on, we have the Las Vegas Raiders traveling to Baltimore in the Birdcage to face the Ravens. Baltimore's a 9-point spread. This one is the highest of the week.
hmm
9 points to the Ravens at home. Uh, yeah, over the Raiders. Who do you got? Raiders
yeah. I
are
got Baltimore. Yeah,
yeah. There's not
I
much
picked Baltimore last year quite a bit. Actually, I think
every
I
week. I think.
pretty much, yeah. And I think I went 8-1. In that 9 game span. I'm gonna keep riding on them. I like Baltimore. I like Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson not hurt, but he did take an extra day of rest.
Yep.
And then the Raiders, coming out losing to the Chargers. I thought they'd start a lot hotter than that. But yeah, I'm gonna go Baltimore at home in the Birdcage.
Yeah, we didn't mention this last week, but yeah, Raiders put up 63 points on the Chargers last year.
hmm
In the first half, or like basically first half, they
Yeah,
put up
yeah, and then they didn't.
63.
Right.
But yeah, I have the Ravens in this one as well at home. Lamar Jackson gonna rush for another 100 yards. He's gonna throw for another
hmm
200. Um, watch out for not Isaiah Likely. Watch out for him, yeah, of course. But
Him
then
too.
I think
Yeah.
Zay Flowers is gonna have a good game this week. He didn't do much last week, but yeah, I think Zay Flowers are gonna target him more, get him further down the field and get some pass after the catch yards for him. But yeah, give me the Ravens in this one. I
Yeah.
think they cover their spread too, probably. Um, but Max Crosby is a dog, and
hmm
Raiders defense, especially the Raiders line, is really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, give me the Ravens at home. This one's going to be a good one. You had the LA Rams versus the Arizona Cardinals in Arizona. Um, yeah, who do you got in this one? Kyler Murray versus Matt Stafford. Both put up big numbers last week. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm gonna go Matt Stafford. And the Rams. I just think they have a salty taste in their mouths after last week's overtime. I think they come out hot. I'm gonna miss Puka Nakua, but obviously you got Cooper Cup, and he's always there. So I'm gonna go Rams at
yeah,
Arizona.
yeah. Kobe Parkinson looked good last week. Wasn't Tyler Higbee's out, I believe. So Kobe Parkinson would be a good pickup if he's on the waivers for a tight end. But I do like the Arizona Cardinals at home. I think the Arizona Cardinals at home are a different team than on the road, and they put up 28 on the Bills last week and almost beat the Bills on the road. So I think at home, I think they're a totally different team. Give me the Arizona Cardinals in this one at home. I'm probably gonna bet on them at home every year, every week this week, or every
Mm,
week this season if they're playing yeah, not the Chiefs or the Raider or the Niners or whatever, but
hmm
against the Rams, I think they get it done at home for sure. So give me the Rams. And Arizona is favored by a point in this one at home. So basically zero,
Yeah.
basically even game. So and then yeah, moving on, you have the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Denver Broncos. This one should be a low scoring game.
hmm
Over under is 36.5. I don't even know if I want to. Yeah, that's low, really low.
Yeah, it
But
is.
Pittsburgh has a 2.5 point spread on the road in this one. Who do you got? Steelers or
This is a tough
Broncos?
one for me, but I just think, yeah, Bo Nix, rookie, hopefully has a good game. Doesn't turn the ball over as much. I'm gonna go Steelers though. Just the way their defense is. You got TJ on the other side. Hopefully he doesn't. Hopefully those turnovers that he caused don't get called back, and their kickers there. So if they get in, like you said, that 40-yard range, he's gonna make it from 50, 55.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go Steelers.
Yeah, this one's a tough one. I didn't have this one marked originally, but it is at Mile High, and Bo
Mm.
Nix has been thrown there for the past 6 months. This is the first home game. It is tough for a rookie to win, especially against that stout defense. I have the Steelers marked on my thing, so I'm gonna go Steelers. Um, this one was a tough one to decide, but yeah, give
Yeah,
me
it was.
Pittsburgh. Give
I
me
think it's gonna be low
Pittsburgh on the
scoring.
road.
I think it's gonna be low scoring. It's not gonna be an exciting
Oh
game.
yeah.
But
A lot of field goals in this one too, I bet.
yeah,
So
hmm
yeah, but give me the Steelers by 3, a field goal. It's gonna be like 16-19
yeah,
or
right.
15-18.
Yeah,
But yeah, moving on. Then this is always a rivalry game. Bengals at Chiefs in Arrowhead. Uh, Chiefs start off the 2 home games. I mean, tough to win in Arrowhead, but yeah,
hmm
Cincinnati I think T Higgins is week to week. He might be out for this week as well.
I think he's out this
Um,
week.
but yeah, I mean, yeah, at least you have Jamar Chase. Don't really have any running backs.
Yeah.
That's about it. Joe Burrow's kind
Hmm.
of banged up. I have the Chiefs in this one. Not really, just the way the Bengals played last week. Give me the
Right.
Chiefs.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go Chiefs too at home. Like I said last podcast, Arrowhead's hard to play, and I think it's gonna be rocking. But I do think that the Bengals put up more than 10 points. I think they, I think it's gonna be pretty good. I think Joe Burrow has a few good plays where they score
Oh,
touchdowns. Yeah, I think it's gonna be competitive. Like you said, it's a rivalry. I think Joe Burrow shows up with his best, tries to at least. I think they score more than 10 points, but yeah, I'm gonna still go Chiefs.
only one to beat Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs, I guess. But
Hmm.
I don't know about that, dude.
Okay, well, we'll just have to see.
Put
I
up more
guarantee
than
this.
10
I
points.
guarantee they score more than 10 points.
The Chiefs defense is stout. I bet you the Bengals scored 10 points exactly. I called the Panthers scored 10 points exactly, and they scored 10 points exactly last week over on the
Yeah.
Saints. But I think Bengals only scored 10 points. I think they get a garbage touchdown at the end, and Chiefs win 27-10.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be walk in the park for the Chiefs. Um, but yeah, give me the Chiefs at home. You got the Chiefs at home too, right?
Yep. Yep.
Okay. And yeah, moving on Sunday night, you have the Caleb Williams Bears facing the CJ Stroud Texans, sophomore versus freshman.
Hmm.
Houston has a 6 point spread at home in this one. Uh, yeah, I have Houston Texans. I'm probably going to bet on Houston all year. Great team. Love who they are as a team, their personality. But yeah, give
Hmm.
me the Texans. Who do you got in this one?
Yeah, I'm gonna go Houston as well. I just think very worrisome that the Bears offense didn't score any points. Relied on their defense and special teams to score their points and win the game for them. I think Caleb Williams plays a little bit better. But I'm still going CJ Stroud and the Texans at home.
It is kind of scary that the Bears did score like 3 touchdowns on defense and special teams. That's kind of
Hmm.
scary,
I
but
mean,
I
yeah, they're
think
good. They got a good defense, but
yeah,
yeah,
Houston's offensive firepower I think is going to be too much to handle for the
yeah,
Bears defense. But yeah,
absolutely.
Joe Mixon had 160 yards and touchdown.
Hmm.
Nico Collins had 120 yards. Stephon Diggs had like 80 and 2 touchdowns. Like, yeah, it's just you can't guard everybody on the team, so it's going to be
Right.
tough. So yeah, give me the Texans at home. And then Monday night, to wrap up week 2, you have the Atlanta Falcons and Kirk Cousins traveling to Philly. Probably the toughest place to play. The crowd is rowdy. Facing the
Hmm.
Eagles, Philly has a 6.5 point spread um, at home. Yeah, who do you got for this one?
Yeah, I think this is an easy pick. Yeah, I just don't like the way Kirk looked last week. I think he's still kind of injured. Can't really move around in the pocket, and that's not good when you're playing an Eagles D line as good as they are. Yeah, I'm gonna go Eagles at home. This could be a walk in the park, ass beating. And then the Atlanta Falcons need to really sit back and look and see. Do we let Kirk sit for 3 or 4 weeks and put Penix in to see what he can do? He's more mobile, I think, right now than Kirk, and
Oh yeah,
um,
probably has been
it
since
has been,
Kirk
yeah. But
turned
still,
30.
I'm saying with the injury of the Achilles to Kirk, I don't think he's fully recovered. And it sucks. Hopefully, he doesn't injure it any further. But it's just tough moving around in that pocket, especially when you're going against what's his name from the Eagles. He's D tackle. Can't remember his name right now, but yeah, they got a good defense and D line. So yeah, I'm gonna go Eagles at home, and they're definitely gonna cover that 6.5. I think they beat them by I don't know what they'll probably beat them by 2 touchdowns, if not more.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I got the Eagles at home on this one too. Falcons didn't show me much last week, and Eagles did. I don't think Falcons are
Hmm.
going to do a whole lot this year, especially with new coaching, a whole new team basically. Um, yeah, I don't think Falcons do a whole lot this year. They might finish 5 wins, maybe, kind of like the Chargers last year. So yeah, give me the
Yeah.
Eagles at home. Um, so yeah, that wraps up week 2 for our picks. Give me 3 picks that you have for locks, um, for sure wins, that somebody can throw into like a parlay or something.
Hmm. Yeah. I'll go. Let's see here. I'm gonna go Ravens lock. I'm gonna go Texans lock, and I am going to go 49ers lock.
Yeah, those are. probably three, and probably one of the top three biggest spreads too. But yeah, those are probably for sure locks. I'll go a couple lighter spreads. I'll go Miami. I got Miami as a lock at home for sure. And then I got let's go Washington Commanders a lock over the New York Giants. And then I'm gonna go Kansas City over the Cincinnati Bengals as a lock as well.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's a 6-team parlay that you can put in. And I mean, once you put 6 teams together, even if the spreads are six and
Right.
a half, if you pick the money lines and they're like, you could still get plus 5,000 on that.
Hmm.
Put down $10, win 500. So I mean, yeah, see what happens with that. But yeah, I went 13-3 last week. You went 11-5.
Yep.
So not too bad. And those are money lines. Those are not against the spread. Um, against the spread would be tough. Those are.
Very
Have you
tough.
seen
Yeah.
Pat McAfee's lineups and
Hmm.
versus AJ Hawk?
That's
That's
yeah, it's
tough
tough.
against the spread. We just go straight up, which is a little easier, but also, yeah, could also not be in the favor of us as well. So you
Hmm.
get like but yeah. So what else do you got for this week, bud?
Nothing. I think it's gonna be a good week. I'm looking forward to college football. Not a lot of big games this week. College game day is in South Carolina. That's gonna be pretty cool. That place is always rocking. I like the Gamecocks. um, Other than that, no, I'm just looking forward to this week. Obviously, the Packers kind of sitting there waiting to see what the situation is going to be with Jordan Love, if he's going to play this week or not. And then obviously a lot of injuries like CMC. That's huge for a lot of fantasy owners that have him. That's just really heartbreaking because he's been that type of player that
Yeah.
does sometimes get hurt. Besides last year, I think he did get hurt a little bit last year, banged up. But no, I think it's gonna be a good week. I think Thursday night's gonna be a really good game tomorrow. Dolphins Bills. That's a rivalry division. So yeah, it should be a good game. And yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of disappointed in the Monday night selection. Eagles Falcons, but it is what it is. Still football. Um,
Oh yeah.
but yeah, I'm excited for this whole slate, and I want to. Hopefully, I can break that 12 win for this week. Hopefully, I can go 12-4 or whatever it is. So yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, 100%. College football is not too bad. Wisconsin plays Alabama. That's kind of
Yeah,
a
and they
homegrown.
barely beat USD last week. I know that at one point it was 10 points. They ended up beating by 17, I think it was.
Yeah, Alabama's
Um,
probably going to stomp the shit out of them, but it's
yeah,
kind of
they're gonna
cool for
spank them.
Wisconsin to play
It is.
play Alabama. And you said game day was where in South Carolina?
Yeah.
Gamecocks versus LSU.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be a good one.
It should. Yeah. Both. I think LSU's 1-1, and then Gamecocks are 2-0.
Yeah, you got Iowa State and Iowa. That should be a close one. Iowa State
No,
might beat.
I thought they already played.
I think they play this week.
No, I think they lost last week.
Oh, that was last week. Yeah,
Yeah,
100%. Yep,
they lost
100%.
last week.
They did lose. Volleyball plays tonight, I think.
Yeah, they played tonight. Yeah.
But Oregon State play for sure next week. So that's an
Hmm.
in-state rivalry. And then probably yeah, there isn't a whole lot of games next week.
Yeah,
Notre
not a lot
Dame
of great ones.
Notre Dame lost last week. That was
To
kind of
Northern
a
Illinois.
yeah, that
Yep.
was kind of a big upset. Colorado plays Colorado State next
Hmm.
week. They lost to Nebraska. That was kind of fun to watch.
Nebraska
Nebraska
looks
was
very good.
pumped, like they were bumping that stadium. It would be electric to play at. Bussin' with the Boys was there, and they had a
Hmm.
video, and that place just looked electric. So,
Yeah, it did.
um, yeah, Colorado lost to Nebraska last week. What else happened last week for football? Duke got a dub on Thursday night or Friday night. But it's kind of fun when they have Friday, Saturday, so it kind of fills up our whole week. And Tuesday and
Hmm.
Wednesday are just our down days, so it's
Right.
kind of nice we have the pod on Wednesdays, kind of cover
Yeah, for
everything.
sure.
So, but yeah, that's all I got for week 2 of the NFL. You got anything to add in or sprinkle in? I
No,
mean,
just hopefully Jordan Love, see what his status is, and obviously go Pack go. It's gonna be a tough game. If we can get, I mean, obviously if he sits out, if we can go 1-2, comes back week 4, we play the Vikings. So if he's back by week 4, and we go 1-2 or 2-1, I'm happy with either of those. So hopefully we get a dub.
yeah, hopefully he's still out for week 4. Hopefully the Vikings gonna get a dub. I mean, yeah, Vikings
He
got a
won't be
tough
out for week
schedule.
4. He won't be
Yeah.
out for week 4. I promise you that.
I mean, those MCLs are going around. Roma Dunze has a sprained MCL.
Yeah,
There's a
yeah.
couple other sprained MCLs that are going around out there that, yeah,
Hmm.
could linger on for a while depending on how bad it is. But
Right.
yeah, Cool. Well, that's all I got for two confrontational NFL week 2. Yeah, we'll see you guys next week on the pod. Good luck to all the teams out there. Good luck to all your bets, and
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
we'll see you guys next week on the pod. Until then, peace.
Peace.